Welcome, please guide into the chat. We're still waiting. We'll give it another minute before we get started, but welcome everyone for coming to our meeting. I'm just going to, just gonna give it another minute.
So my question. I would think that since we've got a little bit of free time. That particular, this patch that you're talking about, when you look in, it's like a little hill up and it's back and then it's a little more back, right? So what does that mean? That you share this green space?
One second, we're gonna get started, Ms. Caldwell, okay? Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the April 2nd, Community Board 9 Landmarks Preservation and Parks Committee meeting. The time is now 6:37. We do not have a quorum, so I'm going to call the meeting to attention. Current members that are present are Patricia Caldwell, Veronica Savage, and myself, the co-chair Heather Jason. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I just want to apologize up front. I'm not feeling very well today, so please, everyone, be patient with me, but I don't want to hold you up any longer, so we're going to go ahead and start the agenda. We can't do it, so we're going to just start, and we can't adopt the agenda ordinance because we don't have it. So
Can I ask the folks who are giving park announcements and updates?
Just 1 second, please. One second. So Leslie, are you on?
Yes, I am. Thank you for having me. Sorry, my video isn't working.
It doesn't matter.
I was gonna ask if folks had flyers connected to their announcements, just to be supportive of the folks recording minutes. If you could send that or add that to the chat, that would be
They
really
send it to
helpful.
you
They
already?
send it to you, sir.
Oh, they send them to
Yes.
you, and then they limit their
Yes,
time?
and people do put their announcements in the chat too as well. That's the way we've been doing it. Sorry, Leslie, for that interruption. Thank
minutes
you
to
so much
each.
for coming.
And yeah, we're gonna try to
Please,
keep announcements to 5 minutes.
please, people, please be patient with me today. I just
Yes.
want to keep the agenda going. Leslie, thank you so much for being here. You can go ahead with your announcements and updates. We really appreciate you as always.
Oh, thank you, Heather. Sorry you're not feeling well. You know, once again, Danny Farrell Riverbank turned the corner on the season. Our ice rink, the ice is down. We're starting the process, even though it's chilly today, turning the rink back into roller, and we'll open that up in a few weeks. Picnic season officially opened on April 1, and we have just so many programs going on. As mentioned moments ago, all of the flyers are both posted on the park's website and also have been delivered to CB9, so they're available that way too. And if there's another moment, I'm happy to answer any questions anyone may have.
I know we're keeping things moving, but I know you had the garden plots lottery. Just wondering if people using it, any updates on how the new owners are engaging with the space?
Oh yeah, so we had a huge turnout for the lottery, and all the plots were assigned together with the alternates. We held the new community gardener and alternate orientation a couple Saturdays ago. We had good turnout for that, and folks are starting to use their plots. So please visit the park and stroll by the park and see the beginnings of spring. Probably nothing growing quite yet, but you know, keep your eye on it.
Remind us about the Friends of Riverbank State Park meeting. When does that take place this month?
Thank you, Heather. It's the second Saturday of every month, 10:30 a.m. to noon in the main building, second floor, rehearsal room B. That's second Saturday of every month, 10:30 a.m. to noon, rehearsal room B. Everyone is welcome. We have plenty of room for all. And spoiler alert, the April meeting will likely include a very fun, a very homespun, low-key, but joyous ribbon cutting on our new bus shelter, something that the park has put in because a couple different MTA buses turn out of the park, and the bus shelter has been in need of refreshing for a good while, and it's been an odyssey. But the new shelter is being installed pretty much now, and we're hoping to cut the ribbon and enjoy some little cupcakes together on that Saturday, second Saturday of April.
Are there any other capital improvements that you need to update us about?
They're all percolating along. The North Stair Tower and elevator project is continuing pretty much on track. Our as I reported last time, the filter plant and bulkhead replacement for the swimming pool, that's complete, and the pool has been open for I think since February 15th, if my memory is correct on that exact date. We are kicking off the full renovation of the softball field at the south end of the park. The construction fence will start to go up for that next week. And that project will take about a year. It has a lot of parts and pieces. It will include full renovation of the softball field, complete installation of a new 9-foot fence around the entire field, as well as other improvements to the adjacent basketball courts and some of the walkways right around there. Those are the main. Well, we also have the cultural center HVAC that I am promised should be done by June. The H part of the HVAC, the heat, is working, and they're just fine tuning the rest of the details. But so far, so good.
Do you have
So-
special events for Easter? You have anything?
Yeah, we do have typically an Easter egg hunt with the Easter Bunny. I will make sure that flyer gets sent to CB9 if it wasn't in the big download that went to CB9 yesterday.
Okay, anything, go ahead, Ms. Cole, you had a
You
question?
just got that on the phone. Yeah, the athletic building, I understand that they were having like open, usually, I use that athletic building. I use the Nautilus room. And therefore, I haven't been able to get there recently for this year but I'd like to know, is it still open? Can I still go, even though I might have to re-up on my annual fee? Can I go?
Of course, the fitness room is open. Everything is open.
Last time we spoke, I believe it was, someone said that it can be used for a short while, without payment. Is that correct?
There are day passes available or longer term passes, but the fitness room is members only. It's very, very, very low cost, but a membership is required.
I've been using it for years and I usually get mine annually, but things have just come up. So, who was that spoke to? I spoke to that last month that said it would be open without fee or cost for a short while. All of it, has that changed or has it never been that way?
I'm not aware that it has ever been that way. That's
Okay, thank you.
misunderstanding.
Mhm.
Any other questions? Thank you so much, Leslie, as always.
My
Um,
pleasure. Thank you. Hope you feel better. Thank you all.
Thank you. All right, Mallory, are you on?
Hi there, yes. Let me grab my announcements here. Yes, thank you for having me here tonight. So just a few announcements on some upcoming events. Things are greening up at the greenhouse. We've got all our seedlings there. Our learning garden things are already sprouting up. Come visit, and you can come visit anytime, 7 days a week, but we have some special events coming up. Our Water Conservation Festival is Saturday, April 12th, free, family-friendly event in the garden, giveaways, art making, stewardship activities, learn all about NYC water and how we can make our learning garden water-friendly this season. We'll have some stewardship activities around that. We had our first Urban Gardening 101 session, which we're very excited about. These free beginner gardening classes are following the garden season. If you're sad you missed it, that's okay. We still have a few spots left. And we welcome you to register for our Saturday sessions. You can visit our website, which I'll leave in the chat. For those who are in person, it's just thehort.org, thehort.org. Those are also going to UTHA. The flyers. We've been loving having students in our greenhouse and learning garden for field trips, as well as our Hort greenhouse internship, who have been already moving and shaking, cleaning up, waking up the garden. And yeah, just another plug-in that our free weekly intergenerational programs at the greenhouse continue. We'd love to see you now that it's spring and the sun stays out longer. We've been enjoying a warm, lush greenhouse into the evening, so please come visit us. Some upcoming workshops that might be of interest, a home screen printing with natural made pigments this Thursday, tomorrow, April 2nd at 5 p.m., followed by homemade cooking oils at 6 p.m. On Wednesday, April 9th, nourishing traditions, herbal care for self and community preservation, foraging for first aid, Wednesday, April 30th. And I know Wilhelmina Grant Cooper is a beloved artist in Harlem, and she is coming to do some fruit and veggie stamping on Thursday, April 10th at 5 p.m. That's all the info I have for you, unless there are questions. Thank you.
Mallory, just want to make sure all those events are in a flyer. You said to USA?
She did.
She puts it in the chat also.
They're in the chat. Beautiful. Thank you.
Are there any other questions for Mallory? And you still have openings, I guess, for students, at the greenhouse for classes?
Yes, so all our programs are free, open to the public, and drop in. Our one ask is that for our Urban Gardening 101, because it is a less drop-in style, is that it's pre-register style. But you'll see that on our website, Urban Gardening 101, which I'm about to leave in the chat. And yeah, we just ask that you pre-register. And even though the first one went by, we're still, it's okay. We love CB9, so we'll let you in.
Question. I just wanted to ask on behalf of the Senior Action Committee, the weekend before Mother's Day, we are having a senior action information fair. And for all of the gardens that are growing flowers, if you can find it, if possible, to donate some flowers for Mother's Day gifts for our seniors, we would be most appreciative. That's to all of the gardens. We're asking if you find it, if it's not robbery to you, we ask that you consider donating flowers for Community Board 9 senior citizens.
That's
Thank
so
you.
lovely. We might have some daffodils, but otherwise, would you be interested in flower seeds? We might not have a whole lot of flowers ready yet, but we might have a few daffodils.
Sure.
Flower seeds?
We'll take whatever it is that you can offer. I'm not saying that they're going to plant, but I will make sure that they are put into good use.
Okay, I'll leave my email in the chat as always, and just give me an email with that request, and we'll see what we can do. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We have a quorum now, so I'm going to call the meeting to order at 6:50 p.m. Okay. So do we have a motion then to adopt the agenda? Second by John, second by Patricia. And then a motion to adopt the minutes.
I second.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, I think.
Can I just ask a point of order? Are you taking minutes?
I am.
Okay, and I would just make the request on behalf of the minute taker. You can deny me if you don't feel like it, but I would request that the presenters for announcement updates if you could put it in an email, I found that very helpful for the, just a quick summary or synopsis of the announcements that you're making. It seems like most people have it written down anyways. If you could just pass that along either to our chair, we can pass it along, or directly from here to take it. I think that would be very helpful.
We said that already.
So I have the minutes, if I could staple it.
Yes.
Yeah, you said it first. Okay.
So minutes are,
Yes.
We're then on seconding your motion.
It wasn't a motion.
So Mallory, we'll coordinate with you if it's possible for us to work together to get you this with some daffodils. Okay?
Absolutely.
Thanks, Heather.
Are there any more questions for Mallory? Go ahead.
Mallory, would it be possible to have daffodil bulbs that could be forced from last year?
Look at you.
I mean,
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Daffodil bulbs that could be forced for next year, you said?
well, the bulbs from last season, they were not used.
Right.
They're sitting in a bag at Jenny's garden. And could they be forced?
Can you explain what forcing?
Forced is when you put the bulbs in the refrigerator for a little bit so they get, they think it's been winter. And
Right.
then you stick them in the ground, in a pot, and then they pop up.
So you put bulbs in like upside down or?
No, you just put it regularly,
Regular.
like, but you have to tell them that it was cold,
And then.
and then you stick the bulbs into anything, really. You don't even need soil. Water's good
Yeah.
enough.
We've got some daffodils that have been overwintering. We might have like a few stray 3 or 4 daffodil bulbs that we could look into. I'm not sure they'd be ready for May if we did that, but we do have some that have been overwintering.
Okay. Well, that might be forcible. Well, that-
Hearing for a minute, so we can see each other.
Yeah, I'm thinking of when you put the bulbs in a vase and just let them go ahead.
So do we have Leslie Hamilton on today?
He's no longer, he was moved to Staten Island, so you should have,
Hi, how are you? My name's Kelly Jordan. I'm the Deputy Administrator for Riverside Park. So since Wes has moved on to Staten Island, I'll be providing the updates for Riverside. How are you? So we have some good news. The 142 Dog Run should be reopening by April 25th. We have the ribbon cutting date still being decided, so I can get back to everybody once that has been completed, but we're very excited for that facility to be open again. The Cherry Walk, the bike path, is still being repaved. It's in process, but that also should be opening by the end of April, which we're also excited about. And there is some repaving going on in Sakura Park. So if you're over in that area, you might notice that the pathways are closed for now. That should be completed in early May. It's going to be an in-kind replacement of all of the pathways that are on the interior of the park. And I'd also like to add that we're planning to put 5 additional picnic tables in the picnic area by the 10-mile playground, who was recently requested. So we're happy to announce that we can accommodate that, and we should have that out by this weekend. So we're hoping picnickers will be happy and enjoying the waterfront by that area. That's all I have tonight.
So, did you receive an email from me inviting you to this meeting?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
I'm wondering if you could just please put your email in the chat. Okay.
Yes, no problem. I'll make sure I add my email.
And welcome, nice to meet you. And we've also had a couple of changes too, on our committee as well. Liz Waitika, sorry, has resigned from this committee, and so has Christopher Johnson. Okay, just so that everyone is aware of that. I don't know if we've ever had official announcement about that. So thank you so much, Kelly, for being here.
No, I'm excited to be a part of you guys and share any updates and hear any concerns or thoughts about the park. So happy to be here.
So you're just new, yeah, it was a mention first of all, the updates that you're doing at Riverside Park, which is a park in my youth that I frequented. I'd like to, we hear that further in other parks, they have things like batting cages. Is that a possibility that we can get that at Riverside Park as well?
In the community board 9 section of it, like the northern section of the park, you're asking? I don't know. I can talk to John and we can look into it and see if there's something we can find for that area.
Okay, I would appreciate
That's a
that.
good question. I don't have an answer right off my head, but I can look into it.
Okay, thank you so much and welcome.
No problem. You're saying batting cage specifically or any other type of
A batting cage.
batting
I
cage?
used to get batting cage, yeah, for our children, for the young people. There are a lot of you right there. And
Like 3 others.
we've got the peanut gallery behind me. But yes, a batting cage. I grew up playing bat. I had a lot of brothers, and baseball was big. Baseball was king, you know.
My family's very big into baseball as well, so I understand the passion for it. So I'll look into it.
Thanks. Kim.
I have a quick question if I can ask.
I have a question for Myra. 1 second, Miss Brown. I think that's Raquel. 1 second.
I have several questions. The first is Wesley being replaced in the next year?
I'm not sure about the staffing replacement. There's like it's kind of like a little bit outside of like I haven't been told yes or no yet if they're going to be giving us a new manager for the park, but as of right now, I'm mostly filling in and doing all that kind of work. So if you have any questions, you can always feel free to reach out to me. I put my email in the chat, so.
I see it. Thank you, Kelly.
You get us that batting cage, I'll personally write you a letter of recommendation.
You never know, it might be possible, so I will definitely look into it.
Thank you.
April, did I see your hand up?
Oh, yes. Just want to say thank you, Kelly, for joining us. We'll definitely miss Wesley because he was great, but thank you for stepping in. And really excited to hear about the dog run and the picnic tables at 10 Mile Playground. That's awesome. I know Shannon's really excited too. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful dog run, so we're excited too.
Have you done any community, or do you know of, and maybe Shannon, you can jump in on this a little bit, has there been any community outreach regarding the dog run? I understand that there may be some concerns regarding neighboring buildings regarding the dog run, and I have not yet had an opportunity to connect with the person that you gave me, Shannon, to discuss how we might be able to facilitate any community outreach issues regarding the dog run. Do you have an update for us regarding that, Shannon?
My update would be, as we spoke to Victor and as we exchanged emails with you, Kenda Lee Perrin is outstanding. She's one of our user group volunteer leads, which is an informal title, but like myself, she's stepped forward to be a contributor and a lead with regards to our dog run community. She also goes through the clearance processes with the Conservancy. She's outstanding. Sounds like the two of you are finding time to connect and then to engage in whatever is coming out of 644 Riverside. We have not been directly approached. We find it interesting this topic is back on the radar. We're excited to see the progress that's happening at the dog run and its pending reopening. And we're happy to follow the community board's lead in exploring that dialogue.
Thank you so much, Hannah. This is one of the areas that I'm going to be asking this evening for volunteers or volunteer from our committee to try to help negotiate whatever issues there may be.
Just for clarity for the minutes, what is the issue with 644 Riverside? Shannon?
We have not been directly approached. I'm unclear. I can tell you back in 2018 when I got engaged, there was some feelings out of some of the residents. I can't say all, from 644 Riverside, that when the Parks Department, in collaboration with the Conservancy, Riverside Park Conservancy, and the residents that had advocated for this dog run space, that they weren't consulted with the space that was across from their building. I also understand that there are some residents of that building who have had past and long connections with the community board, and may have leveraged some of that relationship to bring some of their concerns to the forefront when Anthony Carrion and Jonathan Thomas were co-chairs of this committee. I engaged and had several meetings with that group back in 2018, 2019. We also had a meeting where Anthony and Jonathan also were in attendance. We have been operating as a user group, and I think that the record on this dog run stands pretty positive all the way up through last May, when we were shut down for construction, happily so, and are anticipating picking up that smooth engagement this month. I can't speak for 644 Riverside. I can only tell you that we're anxious to hear what is happening there and how we might be able to further alleviate whatever new concerns are being expressed.
I think there may have been some issues regarding the hours of operation for the dog run and the dogs barking, and that causing some kind of disturbance, some noise complaints regarding the hours and the dogs barking near the building. So this is one of the items I'm going to, and we're going to get to our, our section that I'm going to need the help of community board members to help navigate whatever the issues may be, just so that we are all on the same page.
This might be an accident.
Miss Brown, is that Raquel? You had a
Yes.
question? Okay, go ahead, Miss Brown.
Okay, so you can guide me if I'm wrong. Miss Jordan, I just wanted to ask first, thank you for the update regarding the dog run. Albeit our dog has passed away, we've been advocates of dog runs in the area that are, updated, renovated, and maintained properly. So I'm happy to hear that. Question regarding the design architectural plans, are those available for public view online somewhere, or will it be posted, physical copy in the park so we can see what the design plan is and what has been determined? Is that available? Second question, you said something about the bike trails being completed. Are you talking about the Greenway bike trail that goes down the West Side Highway, where we kind of bump into Harlem? Is that what you're talking about? And is that completed?
Yeah, so I'll start with the bike trail, the Greenway first. Yeah, the Cherry Walk, because we call it the bike trail leading down to like the southern part of the park, should be completed by the end of April. So yeah, that's that section. And in terms of the design plans for the project, I believe they might be on the park's website. I can look them up and send them over to the community board if they want to send them out, if I can get that for
Hi,
public.
Kelly. I don't mean to interrupt, and I know John's outstanding. I don't know if we've had the pleasure of meeting. It's nice to see you on the call. If I can aid with your answer to this question, Miss Brown, in the chat, I just put the link to a tool called the New York City Parks Capital Project Tracker. It tracks all the projects that Parks has engaged into procurement stage and forward. The 142nd Street Jog Run is obviously in its completion stage. But if you follow that link, it'll take you to a rendered drawing of what the design of the park is supposed to look like. In fact, it looks quite like that. And if you're more than welcome to follow us on Instagram at DogRun142. We've been putting up lots of pictures of progress as we've been getting close to completion, and you'll see some of even today we saw installation of some of the turf going in, and folks were very excited about. So those resources are available to you. You might find that helpful.
Hey, that was great. Thanks so much. And my follow-up question was quickly, are there donation benches that you're allowing? Some of us who do have dogs or had dogs and, obviously very sentimental about our pets, we'd like to, have a donation bench dedicated to them. Is that possible, or is that a no-go?
That's incredibly generous, and I can tell you that I see Stephanie Caban with Riverside Park Conservancy on the call as well. But I do know that the Conservancy and Parks are both discussing that question came up outside of this meeting about a week ago. I'm hoping that answer is positive. I don't know if that answer is available right now, but I would love to meet you in person at the run. I've been involved in this run for a really long time. I'd love to show you what we're doing and why we're doing it and why we're so very lucky because, as you pointed out, and just quickly, this dog run is unique and not only here on the Upper West Side, but also with regards to the dog runs around us because we're uniquely positioned at street level and the city, parks, the Conservancy, Mark Levine, council member for District 7 at the time, was very generous in recognizing that our original vision was that our dog run would also have ADA compliant opportunities that a lot of other city dog runs in our area can't because of their location and their accessibility. And so this dog run has been uniquely designed to make sure that we have wider entranceways and hard physical surfaces for conveyance of walkers and chairs and things of all that nature. So it's kind of special. We're looking forward to bringing this to the community.
And the water connection.
Yeah. And people travel to this dog run because it's accessible. They'll be traveling because of accessibility. It's great. It's so exciting.
And just for those, who are on the board many years ago, the city did come and do a presentation of the plans for the dog run. So I know that the plans are available, and there was a presentation many years ago. So it's nice to see the project come to fruition. And, a lot of people in the neighborhood will be able to benefit from that.
Mr. Richards, can you put your email in the chat if that's okay? And I'll follow up with you.
I might be at the top, but if you don't see it, I'll be happy to repeat it. But I might be the first one at 6:31.
So again, everyone, if you joined us late on the chat, please put your email in the chat and register to let us know that you are here so that we can keep you posted on what's going on in the community. And we can send out flyers and reminders of the community. So please register in the chat. Go ahead, Josh.
Sorry, just a simple question, Ms. Jordan. Am I correct that your sort of jurisdiction extends to 133rd and not north of there?
For Riverside Park. So I oversee District 14 of Manhattan, so that extends up to 181st Street along the waterfront, up to like the George Washington Bridge area. So we oversee parts of like the southern section of Fort Washington, West Harlem Piers, and then all of Riverside Park down to 59th Street.
So in that area between 133rd and 40th or so, where the Marine Transfer Station is, and there's some the gas transfer station, do you have any jurisdiction there, or does it sort of jump?
Like under Riverbank Park, like in that space underneath Riverbank Park?
I think that's what I'm saying.
Right, like it's like that like DEP area. So we oversee the greenway that runs through there, but not the like actual DEP and like water transfer station. So like we kind of have like a little bit of a break in the park connected by that greenway running through that section, kind of by that like sanitation yard, all that area.
That's my question. So at the north side of the West Harlem Piers at about 133rd Street, where the park sort of ends and then it goes into that gas transfer, and then there's the old DSNY transfer station, and then north of there at the about 145th where the Riverbank State Park ends and then the green sort of starts again. That's where you resume your jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you so much. We're gonna move on. Thank you so much, Holly.
Thank you, guys.
You missed you last month, Stephanie. Welcome back.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm back Thank you so much, Kelly, for all your updates. Hello, I'm Stephanie. I am one of the outreach coordinators for Riverside Park. I work specifically from 120th to 181st Street, up to the Little Road Lighthouse. So I have some updates for you all. Just want to plug Dog Run 142 Instagram. I know Shannon just mentioned that, but just double plugging that. Please follow them on Instagram. Shannon took a really cool aerial view kind of the dog run of the new turf kind of being put in this week, which was so exciting. So please look at that. Mrs. Brown, to answer your question and to answer anybody's questions about benches in the dog run, I'm 90% sure, 90% sure that you can adopt a bench. So Mrs. Brown, I'm gonna like private message you, but I'm also gonna put my email again in the chat if anybody's interested in adopting a bench in the dog run or anywhere in the park. Happy to connect you to the right person for that. But that would be lovely. So some stewardship and volunteer opportunities coming up. We have gardening at Ralph Ellison Memorial on 150th Street and Riverside Drive on April 26th. From 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And also we are starting again with our gardener, Winston Johnson, gardening at Socorro Park in Claremont. I know Socorro Park is kind of under construction for the next couple of weeks, so we will be gardening in Claremont as well, right across the street, right past Grant's Tomb, every Wednesday morning from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Teen Core applications are live. So we have a youth internship every summer with high schoolers in the area. We accept around 18 high schoolers for the summer for about an 8-week program where they get to learn about basic horticultural skills, about environmental justice, about redlining and accessibility in the park. And also they help to restore a lot of places in Riverside Park with us, with our gardeners. So that's really exciting. So again, we are accepting about 18 high schoolers for this summer. That application is live. And they will get a $1,000 stipend at the end of their summer with us. We have a moon gazing opportunity on Sunday, April 13th at 7:30 p.m. It's right on the 145th Street lawn where that moon gazing structure is, right at the waterfront. And you'll be able to enjoy a night of moon gazing and night photography. So that's really exciting on Sunday, April 13th. Sensational is coming up in May. We have a little bit of time, but Sensational is just an event where we refill and refresh all of the sand in the sandboxes in a lot of the playgrounds in Riverside Park. The two that we are looking to partner with any schools, any classes, any families with is Riverbank Playground on 142nd Street, right next to the dog run, and Discovery Playground in Fort Washington Park at 163rd Street. So we need a lot of hands, especially at those two locations, again at 142nd Street and at 163rd Street. So if you know of a school or a class, or if you are yourself interested in just coming and you have little ones, what we do is we do like a bucket brigade. Is that how you say it? Bucket brigade with the little ones who come, who are very helpful, and we'll take out all the old sand and we'll put in fresh new sand. So it's really cute and exciting. So come, why not? And I'll put that information in the chat as well. And I think, oh my gosh, I think that's it. That was a lot. But if anyone has any questions about that, again, I'm putting my email in the chat. And I do have a North Park newsletter that I send out. I send that to CB9, CB12, and to anybody else who wants to be a part of that. All of that information is in my newsletter, which I send out once a month. And I'll put that info in the chat as well.
So many things to congratulate you on, Stephanie. So I first want to tell everyone who's online to take a look at Stephanie's newsletter, because she did an amazing piece on how to help park goers navigate knowing their rights. When encountered with ICE, there's a brave conversation we raised last month, and she took the lead and put that information really concretely. I encourage all the parks to also follow suit and put that information on their sites, make it available and visible. My second thing to you, Stephanie, is to ask about the goats. When are they coming back to the enclosure? It's one of those like perks that you only see downtown, so love seeing it up here on the north side.
I have so many creatures on my.
I love that question. We actually just had our first Gotham meeting today, with like all the heads of the departments being like, okay, let's now talk about the goats. It's coming up. Yes, they are coming back, and it's really exciting. For those of you who don't know, we do have goats in the park every summer who help us, especially eat poison ivy, but other weeds as well, in an enclosed area. So you cannot pet them unless you participate in one of my volunteer opportunities, and then you can pet them. But they are enclosed, but you can see them and you can take pictures of them. And they will be roaming around 143rd Street, and their enclosure is about a block and a half long. I want to say actually maybe 2 blocks. So at 143rd Street, they will be in that area. Again, this summer, they will be coming back in July. Tentative date, it's not published yet, so it's tentative, but like July 12th, like that second week of July. So let's just say second week of July so that it's like, because the date is not like super set in stone. But they're coming back, and we're going to have approximately 5. I'm gonna say 4 to 5 goats this summer. So that's really exciting. This summer, I'm going to be doing some volunteer opportunities with the goats. So we have 2 options. You can be a goat herder if you want, and that entails you you coming in the morning to let them out of their tent, clean their tent, clean their poop, brush them, make sure that they have water. Or you can put them away at night, because at night around like 6, 7 p.m. we put them back in their tent, check their enclosure, make sure they don't have any cuts or anything, and make sure that their water is filled. So kind of light-ish work, but goats can be pretty stubborn. So if you're interested in that, that information is not available yet, but by next month I'll be able to have like that info sheet ready and prepared for you. If you want to be a volunteer goat herder, which is really cute. As well, we also have like trash pickup opportunities twice a month. That information will be out soon as well. But if you wanted to do something like in a group setting, we have trash pickup, because there is quite a bit of trash in that area, and we want to make sure that the goats don't eat anything that they're not supposed to. So.
Hey, Stephanie, can I add something?
Yeah, of course.
So Heather, really quick, the Riverside Park Conservancy gardener, Lovett, who was responsible for north of 135 up through like 150 something or above, has transitioned to another engagement, and is not presently with the Conservancy. He was outstanding. We featured him on our Instagram. And the reason why I mention this is because the dog run has our community, again, in appreciation to so much that's going on around us, and quite frankly, our engagement with the Conservancy, is we're trying to work with the Conservancy to possibly coordinate a couple of flower area volunteer opportunities that usually a Conservancy gardener might be taking on independently during the week. Trying to get some of our dog run folks to grab shovels and rakes and help clear out wood chips and leaves and restore some of those planting areas from 135 up to, let's say, 145. So those volunteer efforts, I see Stephanie nodding. As those things germinate, we'll put flyers out, we'll send those into Youtha, we'll post them here on our Instagram. But just want to share that as well, because in this time of financial constraints and park support and all the rest of it, just trying to make sure we get engaged and take care of our green spaces.
Thanks for that, Shannon. And yeah, Lovett was amazing, but we are down a gardener for literally like 2 miles of the park. So we're hiring as well, if anyone's interested. So yeah, and maybe we can do a Dog Run 142 Jenny's Garden collab for a gardening day. That could be really nice. So look out for that.
I have a quick question, if that's okay.
Sure.
Are you, do you accept the summer youth employment kids for your program? Because that would be a way for a couple of young folks I know may be interested in horticultural work, or, so do you accept the kids into your garden?
Great question. So unfortunately, we don't accept SYEP for Teen Corps. It's just a separate program where we just get separate funding from that. But So anyone can apply to that online. It's just not SYEP, unfortunately, but we do have 2 SYEP opportunities in our summer sports camp. So we have summer sports camp. That application is also live as well. And we have 2 different locations in the park for summer sports camp. I believe they're just outside CB9, which is why I didn't mention it, but 103rd Street. That area is a sports camp. We use those fields on 103rd Street, 104th Street for soccer, flag football, baseball, volleyball, maybe gymnastics. I'm forgetting all the sports, but there's like 6 or 7. At 103rd Street, we do need SYEP, and we do have SYEP youth there, as well as in Fort Washington Park. From 158th to 172nd Street, we use those courts as well. So we do have SYEP for summer sports camp.
Okay, is your email in the chat? Or
Yes,
your...
I'm also gonna private message you on the Zoom. So yeah.
Thanks so much.
Of course.
Sharing that we'll also announce this at the Youth Education and Libraries Committee, just across committee pollinate in terms of announcements. Is that right, Colin?
Sounds good. Very good, Stephanie. All right. The New York City parks. Matt, is Matt on today? Okay. Yeah, I see Matt.
That is there.
Yeah.
I am here and Tapashi's here as well. So a few updates. On April 12th, the park rangers are going to be hosting a Great Trees of St. Nicholas Park, teaching people how to do a tree ID and looking at great trees that we have in St. Nicholas Park. And just outside of CB9, at Frederick Douglass Playground on May 3rd from 12 to 3, at New York City Parks and our Recreation Division is going to be hosting a Family Fun Day with crafts, jumbo park games, and obstacle courses. I sent those flyers on to Yutha and Heather. I'll post some links of stuff that it's already posted online in the chat as well of that information. I mentioned that the Green Street at 126 in Amsterdam was under construction in our last meeting. That fencing work has finished up, and now we are looking to have our Manhattan Horticulture Division do some planting there to finish off the work that was done. So hopefully come next month, we'll be able to say that that Green Street's been replanted. And then as weather gets nicer, I'll post a link on this. This is New York Roadrunners hosts a run walk program in the Morningside Park every Saturday from 9 a.m. starting at 110th and Manhattan Ave. If you do 3 loops on the lower trail of Morningside Park, that ends up being 3 miles. So as the weather is getting nicer, I'm sure more people will be going out to that program. So I just wanted to remind you guys that that's still occurring. And then that's all the updates I have for now. I'll pass it off to Tapashi unless you guys want me to answer any questions prior to Tapashi.
Matt, you said it was 126 in Amsterdam, that Green Street?
Yes, 126 in Amsterdam. It's this little green street. It's got a mural on the side of the church building that's there. It's on the northwest corner of 126 in Amsterdam.
Thank you.
Matt, I had one request. At last month's general board meeting, there was a really disturbing account shared about someone being assaulted as they were walking through Edgecombe Park, and there not being anyone available to get support from. It just raised the issue of like our parks at night and just putting that on your radar. I think the most disturbing part of the account was that there was just the person couldn't get support, couldn't get help with their wounds. It was a pretty unsettling story. I don't know if folks remember that. But I have not to like shake the story and wanted to make sure we use tonight to just talk about security and safety in the parks, but specifically Edgecombe Park was raised.
That's,
What's
talking about Jackie Robinson?
Jackie Robinson Park?
It was Edgecombe Park is what they called it.
Yeah, we don't have a park named Edgecombe Park. There is a street named Edgecombe that does run parallel along Jackie Robinson Park.
Okay, so that must have been, yeah.
Okay,
Just wondering if do you keep track of like, incidences that happen? Have you seen an uptick in violence, in our parks, and what do we do when situations like that are starting to,
So crimes like that are typically, if a report is filed, that's filed with the 26th, or not that would be the 30th precinct for Jackie Robinson Park. So we can reach out to them about the incident and get some more information. I haven't seen or heard of an uptick of crimes in our park. Generally, they're very safe. We do have parks enforcement that does spot checks throughout all the parks and Community Board 9 and other northern Manhattan parks. But if there's an incident like that, the primary response would be for NYPD. They're able to get there much quicker.
I'd like to respond to that. That's Sugar Hill. And Edgecombe Avenue and Sugar Hill in that area, which I've lived for quite a while, is a very safe neighborhood. That Edgecombe strip is low crime incidents. People are watching out of the building and they see everything. And they usually report. So by the time you call the 3-0, they'll be saying, we already got the report. You understand this has been historically a very safe and community-minded neighborhood. So that incident was disturbing, not only to you, but to me, because it's such a rare incident. And ironically enough, being that my windows face Edgecombe, that I didn't hear it. And usually there's a great report of any incident that goes on. So I had the feeling that somehow we did not get a complete, comprehensive story of what happened. Do you understand?
so I don't want to discount any reports like that, but definitely it's good to know that it's an anomaly.
Over 45 years.
Yeah.
Okay, Edgecombe, that is one of the safest places in Harlem. You're in Sugar Hill.
Regardless, we'll reach out to the 30th precinct and make sure that the information is on record with them. The local precincts do send us reports when incidents happen, but they're more on like a monthly basis. But we haven't seen any major incidents in our parks. But we will follow up. We'll look into that. Thank you for letting me know. And if you have any further information on maybe the specific location, we'd be happy to take that.
Actually, while we're talking about crime, I'll say that in St. Nicholas Park, on that upper path, like on the big main staircase on 141st, when you walk up that staircase and there's that the boulder, the grassy area. Because it's getting warmer, folks have begun congregating there again. Lots of drugs and other things happening there. So I know the precinct is aware of this particular area, but I just letting you know it's already started up again.
Yeah, and I was in the park earlier this week, and a couple weeks ago we did a cleanup of an unsheltered individual over in that area. We'll flag it for our PEP officers to continue to spot check that area. We tried to do some major cutbacks of that area here late spring to try and hopefully reduce some of that activity there. But we'll if we can get some enforcement on top of it, hopefully we can curb the activity there.
Yeah, y'all did a great job. It's like, there's you can see everything now, so y'all did a great job on it.
Yeah, great. Go Matt.
There was a
Go Matt.
I have a quick question. Matt, just wondering, in St. Nicholas Park, I know that Hamilton Grange is in that park. I don't know what side. I guess it's the northern end of the park. Is there any sort of beautification, landscape beautification that's scheduled or slated for that area to beautify, the area or enhance the area, given the Grange is there? Not the Grange, the Hamilton house.
Well, the land around the Hamilton House is federal land and not Parks property, so they maintain the area directly around the vicinity of the house. We did resod on the lower part right below the house. We did resod the lawn this past fall in that area to re-beautify it, but also to help with the erosion issues there. And we're hoping that lawn will take root here this spring as we get some rain on and off over the next couple weeks, and we're hoping to have that open by the end of this spring, beginning of summer.
Okay, so you said it's federal land, so that would
Correct.
mean that if at best it would be a collaboration, not monetarily, even if we were to come up with the design idea and the beautification idea, we can share in that with those who are in charge of that space, given that it's federal. I mean, I'm not looking for us to spend more money than we have to, but I think that we want to enjoy the beautification of that space, if we can. So maybe we can think about the design aspect and coming together with a design idea.
Can you hear us? Hello? Okay, so just to let you know that there's an extensive, very dedicated like horticultural group that meets every Sunday at 10 a.m. at Hamilton Grange. And right now I think it's just because it's winter, stuff hasn't started blooming, but like they're in there like 10 a.m. every Sunday like clockwork. So they're very dedicated up there. And also, Matt, I was gonna say with the lawn, I hope it's earlier in spring because I don't see any lines anymore. The lawn looks so good over there. So hopefully it opens up sooner than we thought.
And also, Ms. Brown, quite often, or maybe I should say occasionally, we have a representative from Hamilton Grange and who comes to these meetings, so I can connect you with her and also Grants too. So she's attended our meetings on several occasions.
Okay.
So I can make sure I get you in touch with her.
part of the federal system.
For the
Yeah.
federal. So we have federal that regularly attend these meetings.
Okay, that would be great. And again, you said the other young lady said it's Sunday. Every Sunday they meet at the Hamilton House. At what time? 10 a.m. every Sunday. Thank you.
Okay, Tapaji?
Wait a minute.
What is-
I would like to ask Matt, with regards to Donald's Way, will you be planting any flowers in that historic park? Or it's the upgrade, the upkeep of it, everything you've done has been great. I haven't looked over there recently, but the gate over there, I believe you're working on fixing that gate where it's been knocked down. We want to know, can we plant flowers, or is there a plan for flowers to be planted? So, as described on the park site of Donald Square.
So the horticulture area of that park is primarily maintained by our Manhattan horticulture division that goes around and does kind of like the smaller pocket Green Street and square areas. So I can follow up with them to see what their plans are. They typically go there a couple times throughout the growing season here from spring to fall to do maintenance and replanting there. So I'll make sure that's on their list. But if you want to talk about specific planting that you would like to do there directly, we can talk about that offline. I'll send you an email.
Thanks, Matt. I appreciate you. I really do. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Thank you. I don't know if it's Matt or Tapashi. The basketball renovations happening at Alexander Hamilton Playground at 145th and Hamilton Place. I know they have a year to complete that. Are we looking on schedule? Can you give us an update? And also, you know, that park has many other needs. Primarily the bathroom situation, which is important. Can you speak to any of that, please?
So the work on the basketball court is on schedule for Alexander Hamilton, and you know they typically do take a full year for completion of that work. I'll send a link. It should be a tab on our capital tracker that Shannon posted in the chat for the dog run. The information for for the Hamilton basketball court is in that file as well, but I'll send a direct link to that. I'm aware that the rest of the playground and specifically the public restrooms there are in need of renovation. So we'd advocate for the community and the board to speak with our local electeds and advocate for resources to get renovated.
And do you happen to know, just off the top of your brain, what is the end of that 1 year period for the basketball?
I don't. I'll have to look it up through the capital tracker that I'll post in the chat. I I don't recall when the work started, but I will send the information. I think it started last fall, so I think the project wouldn't be completed until towards the end of this season. But I need to look it up, so don't quote me on that.
Totally okay. I can also look it up. If you had it available. Thank you so much.
Is that Enunciation? That park where they just fixed the baseball field over there? Is that inclusive of that Hamilton
No,
park?
different parks.
Those are two different parks.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Have you come into, I was curious when he mentioned it, that they were talking about the need of restrooms over there and that there was a structure there that had been used at one time for restrooms. What progress have you made in Enunciation?
So for Alexander Hamilton, those are open and accessible public restrooms. For Annunciation, that building does not have accessible working bathrooms. So that's something also that needs funding to renovate the building and make restrooms there accessible from the playground. And I would say that the playground itself needs funding for renovation as well.
That's on our agenda, that's on our list.
So those are things that you as a community board can add to your district needs statement when you're sending it to to parks and to our local electeds for support.
It's on our needs statement.
It's on our statement.
Tapaji?
Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. I have a few announcements, and I'm starting outside of CB9, actually. We have the upcoming Jackie Robinson Day Festival on April 12th from 12 to 4 p.m. Thankfully, I have community boards 9, 10, and 11 tabling. Thank you, Heather. Hope you're able to get some volunteers to help you table. The day will be filled with fun and activities throughout the park. We'll have a community tabling event on the Banshell Plaza, as well as music and performances from different groups in Harlem on stage. And we'll also have basketball, baseball, track and field, and flag football and pickleball clinics throughout the park. There's also a volunteer portion, which includes mulching and planting from 10 to 12 at 152nd to 153rd Street. Now going to Morningside, I have exciting news. We'll have a second Saturday jazz series in Morningside Park in collaboration with West Harlem Arts Alliance. Dates currently are May 10th, June 14th, July 12th, and September 13th. And the time will be from 5 to 6:30. As soon as a flyer's created, I'll send it out to the community board. But just wanted to give you the heads up. It's second Saturday in Morningside. And then in St. Nicholas, we're going to do fourth Friday's jazz series. and again in collaboration with West Harlem Arts Alliance. And the dates for this are May 17th in celebration of Malcolm X's 100th birthday, June 27th, July 25th, and August 22nd right now. We are also having the 3 movies I mentioned last month with the African Film Festival and Maisel's documentary on May 31st. And August 2nd will be like in celebration of James Baldwin. And lastly, the October 18th film will be more focused like a Halloween themed celebration. I know I'm promising you guys I will get the flyers to you once they're created so that you can share it with the community and come out yourself. And close by as well at the Jackie Robinson Rec Center, there is a brush and paint night on Friday, April 25th from 5 to 8 p.m. At the Rec Center in Marcus Garvey, Pelham Fritz, there's a Zen Glow and Flow Fitness Night, which is a series of fitness classes, including full body stretch, Pilates, and Afrobeat dance fitness. That is on Friday, April 25th from 5 to 8:30. And also they're having a concert with pianist Hank Johnson and Yvonne Pierre on Friday, April 18th from 6 to 7:30 as well.
Pashi, will you be able to email those?
Can you actually put your email in the chat so I can send it to you?
You got that?
Thank you.
Heather?
Yeah, so you know.
Tapashi, I have a question for you. Could you repeat the date for jazz at Jackie Robinson Park? Oh, no, not that. The brush and paint, 5 to 8 p.m. What date is that?
April 25th.
April
from
25th.
5 to 8 p.m. And Jackie Robinson will also have a jazz series. They'll be first Fridays.
Jackie Robinson is first Friday. Thank you.
That's great.
It's
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very excited to have the jazz series in the linear parks.
Yeah.
And I have also, I put my email in the chat. I should have done that from the very beginning in case anyone needs to get in touch with me.
Cool.
So, thank you, so much to Pachi. And again, yes, I will be asking for volunteers this evening to help at the table for Jackie Robinson Day. And we've reached out to the senior committee too, and we're going to try to partner with several of our committees to make sure we have a representation from Community Board 9 tabling for that event on April 12th. Okay.
Great. And also there's going to be jazz groups tabling at the event as well. And so it's an opportunity to meet nonprofit organizations in Harlem too. So please come out and join us. I'll also have a table too.
Good.
Okay.
So someone who might want to offer their services as a nonprofit organization can speak to you.
Yeah, you could connect with me. Yes.
I could connect a jazz musician with you. Thanks, Tapashi. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Nonprofit organizations, yes.
Nonprofit.
Okay.
Okay.
Welcome, Karen, from St. Nicholas Park, Friends of St. Nicholas Park.
Hello, hi, and I'm here with my newest friend of St. Nicholas Park. This is Buddy, who we just adopted. He's a little restless because we're going a little long. Okay, so 2 announcements for April events. We are having our big Earth Day festival, our annual Earth Day festival on Sunday, April the 13th. And there's going to be we're going to have a DJ, we're going to have arts and crafts, we're going to have a big park cleanup. It's open to everyone. And it starts at 11 o'clock. I'll send those flyers, all the flyers I mentioned to Youtha. So it's from 11 to 3 at the James Baldwin Lawn. And then we are going to have our annual Easter egg hunt on the 19th, Saturday the 19th. So take a look for those flyers as well. And we'll, highlight stuff in Patch and other places. So take a look for those. And then the one other item I wanted to mention, sort of in the way of capital, I mean, ever since I got involved with the Friends of St. Nicholas Park 7 years ago, we've been advocating, as Matt will tell you, for capital improvements, stairs and playgrounds. And one of the items that we put on very high up on the district needs list every year that I've been involved, and keeps going up, is for the playground at 133rd Street. And when Tricia Shimomura became commissioner, we did a walkthrough in the fall. We've been continuing to advocate for that with our electeds. And she also put this on the list to get a formal estimate within parks, which was a really important step. So that playground is estimated to be just north of $3 million to renovate. We're making really good traction now, I think, to get this funded. So I think it's really important for the electeds to hear from everybody. Again, just remind them this is a priority, that our kids, you know, in or and around that part of St. Nicholas Park really deserve a safe and adequate playground, and more than adequate, like a wonderful playground. And so we're really pushing hard to try to get this into the budget. So if people can, when they talk to the borough president's office, or, you know, reach out to them, or to, it's in Councilmember Salam's district, but of course it borders Sean Abreu's district as well. So I think just reaching out to council members and just, you know, advocating for that space would be really, really appreciated, so that we could try to get this across the goal line in the short term here for funding. So if anybody has questions.
That's great. Great work, Karen.
We're not there yet, but we're working hard. So I really just want everybody to really try to, you know, have their voices heard. It really makes a huge difference, especially this time of year when everyone's advocating for their priorities.
Karen, can you just give us your volunteer days? Or do you have a schedule yet?
Yeah. It's starting on Earth Day, the 13th, and then they're going to be the second Saturdays. And so I'm going to send all those flyers to Youtha. They'll be on our social media. Unfortunately, the ones I have are JPEGs, and I can't seem to put that into chat for some reason today. But I definitely will forward everything onto Youtha, so she has them. But we'll be doing our monthly cleanups. I'm just focusing on April right now, but we're going to have, you know, some of the jazz Tapashi mentioned. We've got other jazz coming up with Tyrick McDowell. In June, we're going to have yoga starting, but I'll get to those announcements, you know, in May, just because I know in the interest of time. But
When
if
you
people,
send those to Youtha, can you please add me as note taker this month? So just copy me on what you sent to her.
Let's wish you good. I just wanted to ask just wanted to go back. The park that you're developing at St. Nicholas Park on 133rd Street.
on
correct?
St. Nicholas Avenue, yep, it's the St. Nicholas Playground.
Playground, so that, do you expect that will have, do you have a time of, expected time of completion?
No,
Yes.
we're still advocating for the funding, so that's what's got to happen before we can even get to design or anything else with parks. And like I said, we've got, I think, really good traction. And that's why we, you know, the elected officials just have to, and people have been great about reaching out already, but people just have to know that, you know, remind people this is a really big priority for the community. I mean, there isn't even, you know, safe fencing, the structures are really inadequate. And I think it would just be so wonderful to get that accomplished. So, you know.
Okay. Hello. Good job. Thank you.
Okay.
Moving right along.
Thanks, Karen.
Clyde, it's Karen. Clyde, I know you've been patiently waiting and been asking a little bit.
That's Clyde there.
Yes, thanks. So I'll be fast. The only significant announcement to have is our Earth Day Saturday event, which is the Saturday after Earth Day. So that's April 26th. And that'll be, in a sense, a two-part event. In the morning, we're coordinating with a couple of nonprofit organizations who will send in groups of volunteers to do various things, clean up, mulching, whatever we see is useful and that they can handle in the park. So again, that's a targeted event. So it's not just open to any volunteers, but we're coordinating with a couple of nonprofits for them to send their people in for their Earth Day activities on that Saturday. And then thanks to Tapashi, the second sort of independent part of the event that day will be some activities in the afternoon. including, it sounds like park rangers and the mounted park rangers in the park to just interact with the community and promote the park in general. So that's sort of the second part of the or Earth Day Saturday activities. So that's really the only announcement we have. Other things we have will be later in the summer and fall, so I won't spend time on that now. I just want to see if any questions about that. Okay, and actually just had one quick question since I see Topachki and Matt is still on. Do you all have a sense of when the waterfall will be back on in Morningside? I notice people already staring at the waterfall place and wondering, oh, what's happening?
Yeah, so we're planning on having it up at some point this spring, hopefully before the end of the month. We have some clean out that we want to look to do along the pond edges to get debris cleaned up before the water level raises in the pond. And then they should be our shops team should be reactivating the system.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot.
Yep.
Or Topology, the Michael Somerville's restaurant, are we on target to have, when we're on target to have that opening up? This
Yes, so
spring?
that would be late spring, late May.
Late May.
In Morningside.
Morningside Park, yes.
Great.
Remember,
Yeah.
we voted on that.
Yes, great.
Because of some construction issues.
Yeah.
So we're just, it looks like it's a go this year. So that's positive news. Okay, Ashley.
Fingers crossed everything goes according to plan. Late spring is what we're told.
Okay. Very good.
The end of this month. Yeah.
And I'll hold off to the end, but Ashley, yes, thank you so much for being here from Green Thumb, and she's here in person.
Early. Yes.
You just feel free to just, let us know how we can support you. I'm hoping that we can get some volunteers, at least one volunteer, someone to be a point person for you, to interact with the community gardens. So, just let us know what you need and how we can help you.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. It's nice to be here in person. I think I've been here only virtually so far.
And that's fun.
Yeah. Wanted to make sure I dropped off some flyers for the events that I'm going to talk about, and I'll also send digital copies so that everybody who's online can get them. And it's also the start of the garden season. Officially, as of yesterday, April 1st, gardens are open. Open hours are starting, so exciting time for us. We had our annual recognition awards last weekend, and celebrating. Oh, we can. I'm not sure. If I can't go on that. Our annual recognition awards, which is kind of like a fun kickoff to the season. And it's also Earth Month, so we have a lot of Earth Month events that the community gardens are planning. Most of the ones in the gardens that I support are actually in CD10, so they're nearby if you want to stop by. But I brought flyers for Spring Awakening at Frank White Memorial Garden. So the garden and Roses are having their hot box composting garden tour knowledge sharing day on Saturday, April 12th from 12 to 4 p.m. There are events happening all over New York City every weekend of April. It's not just one day, it's in our month this year, so we have tons of events coming up. And there's also a flyer for an interest session at Edgecombe Avenue Garden Park Sanctuary that's coming up on April 12th, right before the Jackie Robinson Day, from 10 to 12. So you can make it a whole day, just go across the street to Jackie Rob. And that's open to everyone. So there's flyers, I'll share them. So please spread the word and come if you're able to. And finally, I have this map that I think Agendu sent when we first switched the gardens. But I brought hard copies so you can see all the gardens that are in Community Board 9. And then on the back, there's little symbols so you can see which person is your community engagement coordinator. So you'll know who to reach out to for all the gardens that are in CD9.
That's interesting. I'm sorry. That the flyer that you gave us, right? That's the park, that's the community garden, that's on Edgecombe Avenue. And I understand that that's a dividing line between Community Board 9. That's you right on the border of Community Board 9, which is on the side that the space is on in the Park Street. Jackie Robinson is Community Board 10. Is that correct? Yeah. So how does that space work? Because I understand there's also are you involved with the other group as well that has been involved in that gardening location? In that location, what ways?
And Sugar Hill.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm the CEC for Council District 9. So it's those two gardens for me, and then most of Community Board 10. So Salon Yusuf's district is mine. That I support for everything.
So you are involved with that, with the flyer that you gave is, I'm speaking of that specific location. Of that specific location, are you involved with the pre-existing group that was also doing gardening there? And do you work together? So we'll have to talk later. I'm not gonna bring it up now,
Well,
but.
let's bring it up, Ms. Caldwell, because we have Nina Talley on the line, online, and she's one of the representatives from the Edgecombe Avenue Garden Sanctuary, and we do need a member from this committee to serve as a liaison for, the Edgecombe Avenue Garden Sanctuary. Would you like to volunteer to be that person?
I'm so booked, but if I can, I'm so close to you that if
Yeah.
there's anything that I can do, but tell me, what is it that I
Nina,
got?
would you like to say a couple of words?
Please.
Because I see that you're online and she's one of the representatives from that community garden.
Speak, Nina.
You muted yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Let's see, wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Between 148th and 139th, yeah.
Yeah, Nina, we were hearing you, but you keep muting yourself.
You're muted, so we can't hear you. You have to hit that microphone. There you go. Speak.
Okay, hi. Yeah, I've been involved in the garden for 26 years.
Yes.
So yeah, it's on Edgecombe between, like you said, it's really like right across the street from the entrance of Jackie Robinson Park. So
So tell me, what is it that, if I'm correct, you work with someone, is Sonia Simmons still involved with you?
no,
She is known, so what type of planting are you working are you planting anything, this spring? Cause this is planting season, am I correct? So,
right.
what is your?
Well, we are basically mostly an ornamental garden. So we've been planting. We have our daffodils coming up now, and we'll have our tulips coming up now, and we have some open space in the back that we're going to discuss about doing planting. Actually, right now, we're having some construction done. We had 3 of ours fall down, actually 2 of them. So the Parks Department is upcoming every weekend for the next 3 weeks to rebuild the retaining wall.
Okay.
So we have a major construction going on.
I understand what you're saying, being that I'm familiar with that part.
Yes, we need someone from this committee to serve as a liaison.
And I didn't know
That's
much
the
on
next
that.
part, can we let Ashley? I think-
Ashley, so I'm gonna get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but just while we're on that, because with that particular community garden, we're trying to build membership and participation. So I would like for someone from our committee to serve as a liaison to help build membership for this particular community garden.
So that could be an action item.
This is an action item.
So,
Are we done with Ashley then?
No, Ashley, I wanted to ask thing that I do know that they need, being that you're involved with it, and that would be your affiliation through Jackie Robinson Park, is that?
I work for
No,
Green.
she works for
Green Thumb. This park is in desperate need of topsoil and some, fertilizer at this location, is that right? Who's that?
Yeah, we have been working on our terracing because they were originally created to stop the soil erosion. So we definitely need, and our benches are in horrible condition and need, we've been replacing the wood. The primary structure of the benches are warped. So a lot of the benches lean all the way back. So even if you replace the wood, you're still dealing with, people can't sit on them.
So they're having an event on April 12th between 10 and 12, a membership event, okay? So Ms. Caldwell, let's see if it might be possible for you to attend that event or a part of the time, or just do a walk by.
I'll do walk bys as if I see your face and if you see me, I probably know who you are. I've been in the neighborhood as long as you've been in that garden. So I will definitely be speaking to you. And Yvonne, what is Yvonne? You know Yvonne, blonde hair, sure. Talkative Yvonne. She is newly retired. I'm sure she would be more than happy to help.
Can we?
Yvonne, okay. With the blonde mohawk?
Yes. One meeting,
Okay.
okay? Ashley, have you finished your announcements? Do you have more?
I just wanted to say, so the intention of the meeting that's happening on the 12th
Mhm.
is kind of like the open interest meeting for community members that are interested in getting involved with Edgecombe. And starting to talk about some of the upcoming workdays and things that the garden needs so that I can kind of start to move forward with providing supplies and things that the garden will need. So if you know people that are interested in getting involved, if you're interested in being there, please take flyers, help spread the
That's what
word.
the flyer, I got
And
you.
that's what flyers are for.
Wait, check
And
my phone.
I also just wanted, I guess, for Nina, I just got an update too from our operations team about the work that's happening in the departments. And they anticipate that it should actually, thankfully, be done sooner than they expected, so it should be finished by the end of this weekend. Instead of
Okay.
this month, so
Because instead of taking the 3 weekends.
yeah, so it should be Saturday.
Okay.
Latest, and if I get an update, I'll let you know, but I think it won't take as long as they think.
That's April 11th.
April 12th.
April 12th.
Well,
Ashley, did you get a chance to go next door and meet with our district manager, Yuka Prince? If you get a chance, just stop over there because she's really the point person to get in all of our information out to the community. Introduce yourself, and I believe her email is a chat, but you really want to get to know who she is. But thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
really. She was early too. Go girl. Go girl. Well done.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank y'all from the agencies and stuff. And thank you, Ashley, for coming.
Okay.
So we,
Right, thank you. So I'll see you on the 12th.
Definitely. I guess that there's no way of me getting around that one. I'll do the best. I'll good. Let me.
okay, so.
Okay.
So now we have. to
Okay, I'll be
discuss
around.
some committee
Okay.
action items.
Thank you, Denise.
Can you make it
You're
bigger?
welcome.
Do we want to say goodnight to our?
Yes.
We don't have to say goodnight. They can stay on. This is a public meeting. We can.
Plus, it's, you have the
No.
option to be done, we're not
No,
gonna.
they can leave when they want to.
That was
leave.
the vote that we made last, is that what we voted on last week?
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
I don't think it's clear. It doesn't matter. We
Yeah,
put it down.
this is a public meeting, okay? So, again, we need to discuss some committee member action items. We need to get some volunteers for Jackie Robertson Day. Is there anybody who can volunteer their time on that day?
That's the
The
12th?
table, yes, April 12th.
That-
And you can just give a
The same
time.
12, right?
Yeah,
Sorry, I still work at 11:30 that morning.
it's from 12 to 4.
Okay.
I see these other action items.
No, these are not, these are just certain things. I can go one by one and ask people what it is, and I'll just, start what it is you would like to contribute, what would you like to do for the team to make sure that every voice is heard and that we're doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
So we can start that way, or I targeted certain things that I know we have to do that are upcoming. I was gonna start with that and then ask people individually what they would like to contribute.
So I have a suggestion also. There's a clear action items that came out of tonight's conversation. So starting with maybe recapping those would be a model to kind of support
Where's
us.
the agenda?
Can we possibly put those at the end of this? Because
The
this is
end?
already.
Yeah, I'm gonna add them to the list.
So
Yeah, I'm adding to
Let's just go
the,
through this.
the very first thing that we need volunteers for Jackie Robinson Day.
Is that
And
on
that
One
the?
thing I
to
do
table for
need
Jackie
to say
Robinson.
though, is that this is not a requirement from the board. Some
No,
of these
it's
things
not
are required,
No,
but
this is
not. Yeah.
but this is just a volunteer. Does anyone have any time to volunteer to table? I know myself and Veronica tabled for the community garden event at, I'm speaking specifically about, the community garden at Riverbank State Park. And then Annette and Veronica also tabled for, another event that we had in the park, opening. So
I'd like to just start that we all have different strengths and different activities that we, probably are more inclined to. I love community facing events. That is my jam. It ties up with what I do professionally. It is the part of the work that I get most excited about. When I am free, I jump on those opportunities. So I am not around on the 12th, which I've already told you, but I would like to table or be present at the Harlem Mayor reopening that was presented last month. Really excited to see that part, the Davis Center reopening. It's gonna be just a day full of activities and community engagement. So that is an event. I'm around, I'm available. I'd like to go and represent our committee at.
I've already signed up for a tour, for that event. They haven't asked us to table per se. But is there anything else that you would like to volunteer to do? There are certain things that, and I just like to know what your interests are. So you can tell me something specific.
I just gave you one, and so I will say that part of what would help me is that when someone volunteers, that's acknowledged and not dismissed.
No, it's not dismissed.
So
No,
I'm sharing that. The other piece that I feel I have an ear for is capturing action items. That's something I proposed at the beginning of this calendar year. I have an ear for like what came out of today's conversation that needs attention from this committee. I'm happy to summarize those in real time, like after our meeting, so that we can look at it and see what lines up with our availability, with our interests, with our talents, with our natural resources. So I'll highlight some of those tonight, if that's helpful.
That would be very helpful.
Just to give us an example of how we could start to move as a committee in real time.
Right.
To address the needs that have been raised. So tonight, we've been asked to take some action around reaching out to elected officials to raise, resources and awareness around both the bathrooms and playground at Alexander Hamilton Park and Annunciation. Those are two specific areas that we've been asked.
Are there any volunteers to do that? Is there anyone who would like to reach out to elected officials?
Can you run through the list that you
Yeah,
have?
so
Well, let's just do one at a time, and then I'll put your names in. Let's do one at a time.
So again, I think for people to make
I
choices,
yeah.
they sometimes want to hear the menu so they can compare and contrast which ones maybe work for them best. I'd ask the committee if you want to hear the whole list or.
I would like to hear the whole list,
Okay.
please.
Other folks?
That's fine. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
All right.
I would also like to hear the whole list because
Okay.
I have a calendar. Okay, I am scheduled, we are coming up on, and I know this is, I'm not trying to be funny, on Holy Week. And this is a busy time, so I'm so booked right now that I cannot totally commit, but if I seem a little outspoken when I show up, it's because I wanted to move and shake when I get there. So if I can do anything to help, I would offer my service, but I commit on a regular basis because of like.
So from St. Nicholas Park, we've been asked to also do some outreach to elected officials around their capital project to improve the playground there. So that's another area. We've been asked to identify a liaison for the Edgecombe Avenue Garden Park Sanctuary. So that's around being a liaison to specific places. Highlighting.
You already have the Avenue for Donnelly, don't you?
We have the dog run volunteer liaison. That was also one of the items that came up.
That's fine, I can do that.
Liaison to the dog run
For 142.
for 142.
Yeah.
I'll speak to Matt about Donnelly Square for flowers, okay?
Say again.
Okay, so I want to capture some names, because we just have a few minutes left. So, April, did you say you wanted to be the liaison for the dog run?
Yep, and I
Okay.
can reach out to folks about Connect Park.
Okay, so I'm gonna put April here. And then St. Nicholas Park to include the playground, I'm gonna put April also here.
You can put my name for Alexander Hamilton and enunciation.
Okay,
You go,
thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate this. Let me just add the roll. Give me a minute.
I'll give you a second just to be supportive of who's writing the.
Annette, you said enunciation part liaison?
Yeah, Heather's writing the names.
I'm just putting it in the little spreadsheet.
She's gonna throw the spreadsheet and forward it to you for.
Yeah, I'll forward it to everybody. I'm not seeing, I'm spelling it incorrectly, but I'll correct this later.
Ashley.
Send me your name, Joshua. Joshua. Josh.
That is Annette. Annette, you said enunciation park, and what was the other one you said?
Alexander Hamilton.
Alexander Hamilton. Okay.
So what do you think,
That's
Joshua?
nice.
Well, we're gonna do the dogs and Hamilton, but somebody's
You-
seen that.
I'm just gonna put the ideas then.
I'll add this from
And
Shannon
then-
Richards' conversation and action items to reach out around the
still have to
city
wait.
for Riverside.
So you tell me what you want to
Think
do.
about noise and
I can do that
and
too.
issues with the dog run is kind of
Yeah.
tied, okay, to the dog run
Yeah,
liaison.
and I'll give you the contact of the person who, mentioned already. So I'll add,
Joshua.
People that hate dog runs, I love that.
You look the dog runs?
I love that.
it was what, 644 Riverside Drive was at the.
Yeah.
645 Riverside.
Who was that that just goes there to the?
I'm
Josh,
Karen after.
Check out the room.
Yeah.
Josh, what were you saying, that you're interested in Alexander Hamilton?
I am.
I'm gonna put your name for that too.
Yeah,
It's all
I've been
right.
actually working offline for, a community petition about that.
Oh, great.
It
That's
hasn't gotten very
really
far.
I
Okay,
need that. That.
so again, does anyone have any time for Jackie Robertson day to table? It could be 1 hour of the day, it could be a half an hour of the day, any time between 20.
I was, you mentioned.
I know you won't be here. Oh, it's Edgecombe Garden. Can I put you down for Edgecombe Garden, Patricia? Ms. Caldwell? No, it's not for that. It's for any time, just someone.
It's whenever I can read, I'll put it down. I got it. I
got this. We all got this.
I would
We all
like to be
bit-
the green thumb
The
liaison.
green
And anybody that wants to
Can I
jump
make a
in,
suggestion here, Heather?
I'd like to see you around there. Love to see.
I'm gonna put
Your
your.
name.
Okay, go ahead. I'm trying to listen.
So I feel like I see what you're trying to accomplish with some of these items, and they're good. And it would be lovely to have committee presence at it.
Mhm.
For us, for people with very busy schedules to commit to go into every week to the. I can't see, but
But Lincoln, my.
It's just
wait, but just to see that, perhaps like a calendar or something of events that would be good for us to.
I mean, the bottom
Oh,
line,
I got
the
what you're
bottom
saying.
line is, if you have time, you raise your hand. If you don't, it's not the end of the world.
Right, and so some of these items, are new to.
It's just.
I understand, I'm just saying, and you're trying to. It's just on the way,
You know what the, I'm putting it down, And then whatever time you have availability is on your own schedule, whatever you have
I
time.
just
to
make
do.
a suggestion.
I'm just making the suggestion that, because I agree with you that committee presence at these events would be great. But like in this moment for us
What
to
would
say.
you like to do? We're not doing anything this moment. Is there anything else in your mind, either on this list or not on this list, that you would like to volunteer for?
No, I would just.
It's
like
okay to
speak-
tell her no,
Yes.
Josh.
I
Just tell her, you will let her know if something
I just wanted to speak for a moment, is what I wanted to do at the
So
moment.
what would you like to do?
What I was saying was.
He would like to complete a sentence.
What I would like to do, I think that sometimes the pressure to attend a NYC Link 5G meeting Wednesday from 2 to 3, to commit to that in this setting is maybe not something we can all do. But if we just had like a running, hey, these are the events this month, that
That's what it
would be
is.
great
I'm
for
letting
any
you
of
know-
us to attend to.
I'm letting you know when it takes place, we just let you know if you can attend. Okay?
If I'm understanding,
Please.
Josh, hold on, let
You
me
don't have to
speak.
interrupt me.
I'm not, but we're trying, there's a point that you're not reaching here. And I'm thinking what we actually need is of all of these events that these people tell us about and everything going on, Community Board 9, LPP, we need a calendar of the events, of everything that is that what you're saying? A calendar of events.
This is what I'm trying to create, okay?
Okay.
This is why I'm just
We
doing
weren't
a list. I'm just doing a list right now so we can create a calendar.
And not a
if
calendar of
anybody
volunteers
has
for
time-
all the days.
It's a volunteer. If anybody has time, let us know so we can have coverage. Okay, is there anything else anyone else would like to do or volunteer for?
Perhaps, and when these dates come up, perhaps I will be able to attend, but I can't commit to anything further at this time.
This is not a
That's it.
commitment. I'm
That's all.
asking what your interests are. This is not a commitment right now. I want to know what you're interested in doing.
You already
Okay.
said Hamilton.
Right, is there anything else you're interested in?
I mean, to be honest with you, I'd be interested in going to all these meetings. Whether I can do it is a different question.
That's
You know what I mean?
totally- I just want to know what the interests are, so I can let you and will give you reminders of when things are coming up and to see if we can have coverage. If we don't, we just don't have.
And I'm trying to accommodate your desire for coverage, which I think is noble and good. So all I'm saying is this is a great list. And like us communicating via email, like these events are happening. And then let's see if anybody can go. Maybe nobody goes, maybe everybody shows up. That's great. That's all I'm trying to, because I do think that your mission to try to get coverage here is good. I'm trying to figure out a way that's more palatable to the people.
So
It's.
Can we continue to go to the list, please?
she got the list.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Just as a time check, we have about 15 more minutes.
Yeah.
before We have to wrap.
Is there anything else, Josh? Anything, we don't even have to look at this list. Is there anything else that you would like to do?
That I would like to do. I mean, I would like to find some solutions to some of these historic buildings and park properties that have gone stagnant, like the church. So I'm sorry, I don't know the actual name of the building at right outside of
141st.
thank you, the outside
it's
Alexander
the-
Hamilton's house. That I
Episcopal
think is of
Oh.
great interest.
Oh, you mean the
St. Luke's Episcopal Church.
Yes, that's.
is that the
So the properties that are in,
of the
okay,
church?
the properties that are in, okay, I'm gonna add them to the list.
Hold on,
Yeah, I did.
you're talking about, I'm a little confused here. Because one of those properties directly across the street from Common Avenue Baptist Church is owned by Common. That one which is now in repair, or are you talking about the church itself?
The one directly across from
Miss Caldwell,
the
there.
Hamilton house, the Hamilton Grange house.
St. Luke's Episcopal Church,
Right
that's
across
the
It's
one.
on the
The
agenda.
church, thank you.
It's on the
I'm
agenda.
complete.
I would like to, I also felt strongly about having a whole list of properties that there's concerns about that fall under our purview. Obviously, one person researching all of them is a heavy lift.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to take one of them and, sort of do the due diligence of researching what the issue is and figuring out how we can.
I also
Have that one.
I also feel this body is a good vehicle for pressure to try to get motion in those type of situations.
So
I don't know
Monica,
that well,
I'm
but that's what
gonna
I might
also
feel.
add
We've been doing pretty good so
for
far.
that.
We'll let you know.
So sorry.
We have been. So
Is there anyone that has a, the Link 5G issue, I don't know if you all are familiar with that, we had people come in last year and discuss, these are these new, outside towers that are going up in landmark districts, and we, every month or whenever there's a new one that's going to be installed, there's a letter that comes out to the community board or to the committee, and we have a short window of time to write to say that we don't want this in our community board. And there's some health risks too associated with these Link 5G towers.
And when was the last presentation that was made about those to the committee?
It was last year sometime. I'll see if I can find the old presentation, if anybody's interested in that, and I'll email that to you. Is that something that you have a question? I'll just put your name as someone, just so that I can send you the presentation that we had.
it also.
Do you want me to just put you down?
I mean, I would be interested in what that is, especially if we have like say on it, because I'm not informed about it.
We can write a letter to say we don't want this in front of this, in this historic district. Okay,
I have a strategic question for those of you who've been doing this work longer. So we have 6 properties here that we're concerned about. Is it more effective to write one letter addressing the 6 or 6 separate letters for like quantity?
I would say 6 separate letters to whomever is responsible, because you have to find out if they're still active developers. A lot of them really don't have contact people. But you just kind of create that list and just keep your eye on them and see as the, who are the peoples that are changing, because sometimes it's constant, sometimes they respond, sometimes they don't.
So step 1 would be figure out the status, the ownership.
Yeah.
There's a city site that has that located, but those properties which are, I'm not even looking at the paper, familiar with? It's been ongoing and it's active. And one of the
yeah, I think I'm
properties,
gonna put you down for that.
clergy, out Compton Avenue, one of them is our
I
property.
can't find it.
That's a no-touch zone. We are working on that property. This is this was a landmark, and basically we are making sure that we maintain this landmark community.
So I'm happy to take, 1 or 2 of the properties and research and share the work with.
Okay.
I would say 2 things. Number 1, also, I think that we have the opportunity to work collaboratively and offer support when, a clerical society is the owner, but maybe needs help or something. That I think that's in the purview of this committee to offer assistance. And number 2, I wonder, similar to how you asked, because I'm also new here, is 6 too many to try to address? Should we like choose 1 or 2 that we?
Well, what happens is you get the information, because most of the properties that are there have been there over time. Like it's not new. It's not new. And the information is there if we can look it up, or housing, land use and zoning is familiar. So 6 seems like a lot, but they're dormant pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess that's what, so an interest to me is to take these dormant things and get the machinery running.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing the other committee too.
Well, not only that, we're not the end all to be all here. Basically, we have a recommendation. There are other agencies that are involved with that we will communicate with, being that Liz is no longer here. We're gonna have to extend I'll work with you on that if you like.
You're interested in advocating for more LPC historic?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely, yes. And basically, this not only stops here, it also goes higher within community, which we have already addressed, and then they have the community, and then go to the general board.
I know, we could be the small gear that turns the medium gear, the larger gear.
Let us know you already did.
Can we go through this list real quick, y'all, the remainder of these?
That's what I'm getting to.
So the next one, visit a Green Thumb Community Garden.
What's that?
That's me.
The things that we have done already.
Yeah, I put you as a liaison with,
Right?
oh, I also had a visit in New York City with, community garden, so I can put you with that too. I think that's the one I'll be doing.
Yeah.
And I'll put, okay.
I was just gonna add something to one from this evening's meeting, that we sort of casually mentioned, which is if we ever have guests who are making announcements who are in person, that we allow them to go first. Just out of the courtesy of people who made the effort to come in.
Yeah, I had no idea.
So I think that's a great practice moving forward.
Nice.
And I will say,
Support that.
also would like
So
to.
I'll second that.
Is
You're
that
making a
I
motion?
make a motion to, is that a motion?
Yeah,
Third.
she
Come
did
in
ours,
person.
but I was under the impression she was going to be online. I did not know she was coming in person.
Josh just seconded.
But I asked.
I also would like to suggest that whoever is taking minutes be supported by the entire committee when they make requests to sort of streamline how information is coming in. So if someone who's taking minutes is asking for an email to be sent with all announcements summarized, that be supported, given that the lift is coming from the person doing the work.
Yeah,
That doesn't need a motion, right?
I think we're good, yeah.
I don't know how these minutes are being, going through right now, but what I was volunteered for, that I didn't volunteer for on that list to take minutes, my calendar is booked. But I'm not gonna be able to do all the writing that I can't do everything. I can't fit everything in. That's why I cannot do the minutes. But if one person is gonna do the minutes,
It's gonna be shared, like I'm April, Josh was March,
And
and
May.
Chris for,
Having done it 2 months in a row,
That's right.
I will actually say that, that
Thank you, John.
I would recommend that we make the request to the presenters just as a matter of procedure to, like I said at the beginning of the meeting, and I think you said before I got here, to the announcements of events and everything, they already have it written down somewhere, just to send that along
they
via
go to
email.
give the print.
So that's the response that was said several times. We don't want USA to have to also send it to us, so we would like them to send it to us.
Just to streamline the minute
in
making,
addition
take the
to
burden off of it so that, yes, we all hear them, so we can, in the minute taker included, can digest what's happening in the meeting and think about the events that are being planned and the things that go so fast that we're recording that can be written. The things that are capital improvements that we're discussing, the minute taker, maybe we don't have to have a written report from the presenter. The minute taker can take down the important items from that. I think that
If you go in that capital improvement,
You're scheduled for the minutes for me.
I cannot make, and I did not volunteer.
I'm scheduled for that.
You're scheduled for me?
I am.
Okay. So I'll-
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so, and also, I make a motion. Can I make a motion? I make a motion.
Miss Call, one second.
Let me just make it real quick, Heather, don't cut me off.
April asked for us to go through the list, okay?
Oh, is that what, am I interrupting that?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, I'm sorry.
Is there anybody who ever may think they want to attend the Friends of Riverbank State Park meeting? That occurs the second Saturday of the month, starting at 10:30.
Okay.
I would love to be there. I work Saturdays.
Okay, so
Not interested.
No, not interested? Okay.
No, not interested, not available.
I attend all of them.
You did.
Ours is a member.
Would you like to become a public member? Because you come regularly. Would you like to? become a
Yes,
public
sure.
member? Okay.
Member. I make a motion.
I need.
Ira,
I recommend those meetings. I have my calendar.
Ira, just get the form from Utah.
I mean,
You have to complete a form, just get it
Sure.
from Utah.
Youth of Friends.
I'll email it to you tomorrow.
Okay.
But Ira, you would like to attend the Friends of Riverbank State?
I'm
Park?
in all of the meetings anyway.
You're there.
I choose to go to those over the weekend meetings.
That's,
It's like I'm there.
I'm telling.
No, I told you to see that, and we had.
All right, we
Yeah,
just
that-
have 1 minute left. Is there?
I'm gonna make a quick motion. Quick motion if I may.
The cap-
All of my motion.
1 second, Ms. Caldwell, I'm still running this meeting, okay? So the capital improvements, the parks and playground, we kind of covered that because you volunteered to exist. And you did, okay, so we covered that.
So you covered all of those.
So
No.
the volunteer at Morningside Park, did we have anybody from Morningside Park? Okay, that's Ira again. You there?
What day is it?
He gave us the dates, general, when their volunteer dates are gonna be.
Ira, more than likely, you're probably there already. Just don't even know.
Yeah.
I heard.
Are you, let me finish this so I can make my
I
motion.
heard Jackie Robinson was at 12, I put that in my.
That's enough, I had enough.
Then we need someone to serve as the liaison to work on the plaque for the 1968 Columbia University profile plaque for the gym at Morningside Park. Somebody to serve as a liaison to make sure that we did that good.
It's in my wheelhouse.
Okay,
And that's working with Morningside.
Morningside, yes, in the Parks Department. Okay, so it's now 8:30.
Now, before we close, I'd like to make a motion that we put everybody that is a member on one mailing group list. So all information that comes in can be sent jointly to everyone, and therefore everyone at any given time has all the information so that whoever's doing the notes will know what's going on. Is that feasible? Can somebody second you? Do you understand?
We already do, I do that every month.
Okay. Well then, so as long as you.
We're gonna add Ira.
That's it, I'm finished.
I have two
It's
pieces.
31.
Oh,
New business.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I thought I sent this to the entire team already.
the new business is just two announcements really. Twice a month, first Saturday and the third Saturday, I do an open house on the Baylander at West Harlem Piers from 12 to 3, the 10 top May through September. And the second one is that there are water quality results that are publicly available that I would just like to have on the webpage, that's all. They're a shared Google sheet, I refer to them. And
Water results from the Hudson?
yes,
And-
but there's a volunteer group that monitors every Thursday, starting, I think, in a few weeks from now, if we get one, but
You want that place on the CB9 webpage?
And that should go through the Health and Environment Committee.
okay.
And I'm on that committee also, so I'll make a note of that. Could you give me the Baylander dates, the first and
The first one is May 3rd,
the first and third Saturdays, did you say at the
first
moment?
and third Saturday of the month, from 12 o'clock to 3 p.m. It talks about, it shows what is living in the river, it shows, we bring up oyster.
And is it what time? Could you tell me the time?
12 o'clock.
12 to 3. 12 to 3.
We talk about the procedures of the Billion Oyster Project and how they could impact this area.
That's cool. And they have great drinks there.
No free drinks.
A motion to adjourn at 8:33.
What happened
Can I
to
have a motion to adjourn?
What
I
happened to
make a
the
motion to
EPA?
adjourn.
I second.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
What happened to the EPA and all of this? I think that we need to do a little research on how this administration is affecting our people.
You're part of our e-blast, and you get a lot of emails.
Sometimes,
Okay.
you know, research. But I've had in the last 5 months, 2 of my brothers are. Yeah, I'm trying, and it's not as if, I remember you saying to me one time, said, we don't do all of your figures.
You know what we did?
I had to tell a couple people,
Going to
listen,
Carolyn Thompson.
Yes.
Oh, Mario on Sunday night. Yes,
You know, it's not for me to make the effort. I'm not trying to go with. I'm not going crazy, but I.
Will anyone be joining us at Carolyn Thompson's memorial service on Sunday? Heather, Veronica.
Sunday, where is it at?
3 to 6.
Is that in Macedonia?
Yes.
Sunday, 3 to 6.
All right.
I can't, that's what I remember you had, I said that's what I. Okay.
Okay. Community housing never ends.